procedure did Jane Does 1 through 4 speak to RZ about sexual abuse, physical abuse, or her relationship with Smith, or any other personal details that could have led to a determination that RZ's pregnancy was due to abuse?
Of course.
After the abortion, RZ was released from her recovery room, but no adult was present to assist her.
Where's Tim? Where's Tim?
There's nowhere to be found.
He went to lunch. He didn't come back.
Instead, Jane Does 1 through 4 allowed RZ to leave the Planned Parenthood's facility unaccompanied after an abortion, and RZ located Smith in his vehicle in the parking lot.
That was nice of him.
At no point during the appointment did the Jane Does verify Smith's relationship to RZ, and neither did they ever contact her mother or law enforcement agencies or child services or anybody else.
Are these people in jail?
Report this. As a direct and proximate result of the defendant's failure to inquire about suspicious circumstances and failure to report any knowledge or suspicion of sexual abuse, Smith was able to continue his sexual abuse of RZ on numerous occasions over the course of the next few months. On July 18th of 2012, while Smith was out of the home, RZ told her mother that Smith had been sexually abusing her. Her mother then transported her to the hospital for examination and immediately reported the abuse. While at the hospital, RZ's mother learned that RZ was on birth control, as prescribed and administered by the defendants. RZ's mother then contacted Planned Parenthood to obtain medical records related to the birth control being provided to her daughter and learned that RZ had received an abortion at Planned Parenthood's facility while accompanied by her abuser. Oh my
Think
gosh.
how the mother feels at this point.
I don't know. I'm so angry, and I don't even personally know these people. RZ's mother was unaware of the ongoing sexual abuse until July 18th, and RZ's mother was unaware of the abortion until July 20th. Smith was subsequently arrested and charged with numerous felony counts related to the sexual abuse of RZ in late 2012, and he's pled guilty to 2 counts. And then it goes on and on.
Well, thank God they put him in jail. But
they even had to go back to court a couple times.
Did Jane Doe 1, 2, 3, and 4? Do they go to jail too for negligence? I mean, isn't it negligent to not ask a child, okay, how'd you get pregnant? Mm-hmm. And what's your relation with this guy? Okay, how did you get pregnant? I mean, don't they have to ask a child that? Mm-hmm. Isn't it? I'm not saying forget the fact that it's a Planned Parenthood. Any health professional,
right?
Don't you have to ask this question? Let me ask you a question. If you got bruises all over your body, mm-hmm. you go to the ER. Does the doctor have a legal right? Do the nurses have a legal right to say, how did you get these bruises? Mm-hmm. Or do you just say, no, we just don't ask questions?
Yeah. Not good. Not good. Okay, how much time we got? We got a little bit of time here and a lot to cover. So
okay, go ahead. I'll try to be quiet and just try to deal with this. I'm trying to deal with this.
I'm gonna just touch on spiritual wickedness in high places for a minute. Okay. Remember we talked last week about the devilish duo, Nakatola and Dr. Gatter, and how they'd written several publications, research publications together, including, and Dr. Gatter is well known for her research on doing ultrasounds pre-abortion. Her research findings are that it doesn't matter if you show them to the mother or not, she's still going to get the abortion. Well, it comes to find out that Dr. Gatter has monetary gain in this, and so I would, in my professional opinion, would say that her research is tainted by the fact that she had monetary value in the fact of abortions. You know, the more abortions,
the more money she made.
Specimens, the more money you make, and the more you're on your way to that Lamborghini she was talking about.
So that could skew your results of your
exactly
investigation.
She did other ones as well, but that one is kind of a famous study for her. It's well documented.
Are you talking about Dr. Mad Hatter Gatter?
Yes, Dr. Gatter, yes. So spiritual wickedness in high places. Well, if you remember, we talked before about Nancy Pelosi's attachment with Celine Richards.
Now, you mentioned that name earlier, and I wrote it down. Celine Richards is the president of all of Planned Parenthood nationwide.
Right.
Okay.
She is the president.
Now I'm writing Nancy Pelosi's name down. Go ahead.
Planned Parenthood nationwide.
Okay, so what's the relationship between former Speaker of the House, Nancy Pelosi, and Celine Richards, president of Planned Parenthood?
Before joining Planned Parenthood in 2006, Richards served as Deputy Chief of Staff for Representative Nancy Pelosi, played a key role in her being elected the Democratic leader in the House of Representatives in 2004. She founded and served as President of America Votes, a coalition of 42 national membership-based organizations that work to maximize voter registration, education, and mobilization efforts at the grassroots level. She also was invited in 2012, and there's several pictures of her with President Obama,
Dr. Celine Richards, is she a doctor?
It doesn't say that she's
okay.
a doctor.
So she's rubbing elbows with the President of the United States?
Because she was invited to speak at the Democratic National Convention in 2012.
I remember that convention very well.
Yes.
That's the convention all the people hollered, "We don't want God."
Mm-hmm.
Remember that one?
Yes.
Okay, I remember that one.
And she was touted as a great speech. If you remember right, we looked last week, several of the, sponsors of Planned Parenthood, people who make great donations, corporate donations, big donations.
Who does that?
There was 31 came out at first, and then 2 backed off, and 2 of those that backed off were Ford and Xerox. They said, please take our name off the list.
Ford Motor Company?
Ford. And
backs Planned Parenthood?
The interesting thing about it is, though, they said that they wanted their name off of there. They didn't want to be associated with a corporate giver. Well, guess what? Cecile Richards, guess what she does?
What does she do?
President of Planned Parenthood Federation of America and the Planned Parenthood Action Fund, serves on the Ford Foundation Board of Trustees. She is a chair of the board's Finance Committee and a member of the Executive Proxy and Economic Opportunity and Assets Committee.
So hold it. Ford doesn't want their name linked to any of this, but the Planned Parenthood president, former chief of staff of Nancy Pelosi, is one of the trustees of the Ford Foundation Charity Fund. So you say, we don't want to be a part of this, yet the very people involved are sitting on your board of directors of your foundation.
She's also the daughter of former Texas Governor Ann Richards.
Whoa, see, you could, I was thinking about that. I thought, no, there's no connection. Are you serious? She's, all right, wait, the plot is thinking, but wasn't Ann Richards a Republican? Oh, so this isn't about Democrats. Or, you're saying the sin's going to go.
I don't know.
It's going to get deep.
Was Ann Richards a Republican?
I think can somebody help me out? I don't care. I'm not political. I'm biblical, because this is about sin. This is about what God, listen, God told the prophet Ezekiel, here's a hole in the wall. You're going to look in the hole. You don't want to look in the hole, do you, Ezekiel? No, I don't want to look, Lord. You're looking anyway. But before you start to preach to the rest of the people, you are going to understand the abominations of Israel. Because the judgment has come. You've been under a wicked king for a while. Now I'm going to reveal to you the judgment.
Richards was a Democrat.
And okay, she was okay. All right, well, Republicans are safe for now.
For the moment.
We're not done. Okay, so Ann Richards, Texas governor's daughter, ends up being the chief of staff for Nancy Pelosi, and ends up being the president of Planned Parenthood, and sits on the board of the Ford Foundation. Oh, and got her arm around President Obama. Oh, what a web we weave. They all are part of the darkness. Oh, go ahead.
All right. Okay, so that's Celine Richards, and if you remember, she's the one who came out and defended the first 2 doctors after the first video. I don't know how she's going to defend this last doctor, because they pretty much got her.
Was she on the video?
Celine Richards?
Yeah.
I believe she was at the...
On this number 4?
She was at the end of one of the videos, because they put her on.
I thought that was Dr. Oh, my Lord. Okay, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Okay. So anyways, Celine Richards. Keep her in mind. Now let's go on to, remember what I said, STEM Express got an injunction today that they got, what did they say? a restraining order, a temporary restraining order against the other videos that are coming out against them.
Wait a minute. Who got a restraining order? Who are we restraining?
Stem Express.
They're the people who buy. Okay.
Okay. So Stem Express is the company that was being sold body parts
They're the buyers.
to from Planned Parenthood.
They're the buyers.
Yes. So, guess who is the founder and CEO of Stem Express?
The founder and CEO. Who is it?
There she is, Kate Dyer.
Okay.
Kate Dyer.
Kate Dyer. I'll write down Kate Dyer.
Right here in June 19 of this year, she got 2015 Women Who Mean Business. Got a very nice article in this business journal going on and on about how she is. It says that she wanted to do more to help patients, but caught up in the bustle of daily life, and she had a job at the Bay Area Bioscience Company. She found herself postponing her dreams, and then she broke her leg in a fall down the stairs. It was the universe's way of shutting me down.
She's lucky she didn't break more than her leg. But go on. God's
It was then that I decided I would do something different. So besides being sidelined, gave Dyer a chance to formulate a plan. In March of 2010, she launched Stem Express, a company that provides human blood, bone marrow, and tissue to medical researchers. Isn't that a nice way to put it? Human blood, bone marrow, and tissue.
But she don't tell you where she
researchers.
gets this and from who.
By getting specimens to researchers more quickly and in larger quantities than was previously available. Now, why would that be?
Well, she's making big deals now. They're cutting big, large contracts.
Dyer's work can shorten the length of a research study from years to months in some cases, and that means new treatments may reach the patient sooner. She started Stem Express with just $9,000, running the business out of her Placerville home, also in California.
That's nice.
And she quickly found that there was indeed a demand for the company's products. Several new clients contacted her each week without any active marketing.
She's marketing.
A word about Stem Express spread along the scientific grapevine. Company ranked number 3,063 last year on the Inc. 500 list of fastest growing private companies, with 1,315% growth over 3 years. And
big business.
It ranked 35 on Inc.'s list of the fastest growing women-led companies. The company's total revenue totaled about $4.5 million last year. Just saying.
She's making a lot of money. She's probably driving a Lamborghini.
And it's going on and on about it. Well, who is Kate Dyer?
That's kind of like that sounds like the worship, the Moloch. It sounds like the Moloch worship.
Well, I handed you that paper, but you won't read it. You talked about Ezekiel. You're talking about Moloch. You might want to read that.
Oh, so you wrote down here, you already had it wrote down, Ezekiel 16, verses 20 through 22. The Bible says, Moreover, thou hast taken thy sons and thy daughters, whom thou hast borne unto me, and these hast thou sacrificed unto them to be devoured, to be eaten, or used. Is this of thy whoredoms a small matter? Thou hast slain my children, and delivered them to cause them to pass through the fire for them. And in all thy abominations and thy whoredoms, thou hast not remembered the days of thy youth, when thou was naked and bare, and was polluted in thy blood.
Ezekiel 16, 20 through 22. Read the whole 16th chapter of Ezekiel, actually.
Folks, we'll be right back. You've got to watch part 2 of this from last night's Rachel's Heart live broadcast that Heidi hosted. Russ Dizdar will come in and tell you how dark and demonic and satanic this abortion issue has become. And you're going to find out also who Kate Dyer is and how high up the food chain she's connected. It's not just the Democrat Party. And it is absolutely the sins of the people being revealed in these last days. Watch part 2 in just a moment.